Father, the Spirit of holiness, the one, the masculine identity, the authoritative identity, the purest intention, the purest mind, the beginning conception, the beginning idea, the predestinated, the chosen, created will and intent. Hallelujah. For his creation, save the fact that he gave free will and life, has a decision when it has a mind. Peace to the living God, peace to the Spirit of truth, peace to Yahweh, peace to Allah, peace to him, peace to the Father of Jesus, Isa, Yahashua the Christ, the one name that we have for the heir, the only begotten, the firstborn, even him that is under the feminine identity alongside the head Spirit of truth, the Spirit of holiness in the process of life. It must be so. Wherever good is, evil is. Wherever up is, down is. Wherever male is, female is. It must be so. If it is not that way, it is an anomaly. But it is more that way than it is not. This is the way. Hallelujah. Listen, first of all, out here it's going to be hot. Wherever you at, whatever you got going on, whatever you're doing, try to stay hydrated, stay out of the sun, stay, let that door, man. It's like wherever you go, especially when you out pools, man. And so you go on pool there. I haven't done a lot in my life, but I'm gonna do that. I don't even know if I should, but I need a break. I need to rewind. I'm imploding. I'm seeing clearly, but I'm responding sometimes a little bit more than I should. I don't want to say so much as impulsively because it's due season. Just making sure that we respond in anger and not wrath, in wisdom and not foolishness. That is key. I'm about to do something real quick, and I know this is really good. I gotta get him. He's getting on mine right now. I'm gonna get you, and we're gonna go right now. Come on back over here. Got you. Hold you. It's gonna be warm. Hydrate. Stay out the sun. Stay directly out. Keep a hat on your head. At least the things that I was told. For whatever reason, stay out of that sun. I say the sun is a beautiful thing. Our skin is made to absorb it, but there are unnatural things happening. Our bodies are not the same. We have been depleted. We have been raped. We have been pillaged. We have been diminished. We have been compromised. Not only mentally, not only idealistically, but physically, because that form of witchcraft works several ways. It works to intensify what the spirit is feeling through the suit, and it also toxifies the free will that men and women have. It can do that if we don't have management over it. And I'm learning that in life, whether it be, your actions, your mouth, learned behaviors, your own behaviors. I found myself yesterday, and I was like, man, where did I get this stuff from? I started saying, quick, this is not my bag. I got to unload that. That's not me. But then when I went a little bit further down the rabbit hole, as I went up the hole and I looked at who I become as a person, overall in consistency, I'm better than that. But nevertheless, my guilt is my own. Ain't nobody else's. My guilt is my own. Our guilt is our own. You don't want to claim it? It's okay. I got to get it out the way. Because what it does is guilt will kill you. Guilt seeks to kill you. He's getting on my nerves right now. That's one thing I don't like. Misplaced guilt will kill you. Self-condemnation will kill you. It will hurt you. It will weaken you. It will sicken you. It will paralyze you. It will. But if you have a mind and a heart sewn towards the truth, it will work out for our good. I give you this in truth and in righteousness. It will. If you do the work, if you keep it solid, if you seek more to choose truth over than you choose people over it, choose yourself over, if you choose to give it out in rights, if you choose to stand on it, even when you ain't going to benefit because people are going to look at you a certain type of way. It's going to cause you to have a certain type of relationship that you didn't want because you got to speak what is, even if you part of the problem that you're speaking on. That's what this call for. This is what I'm doing around here. If you don't like that and you don't like me, man, look, I don't want it to be that way. I'd rather you be over here. Why you want to be on? Listen, I just say I got a couple good people, even people I don't talk to every day. People that stick with me. They know who they are. They know who they are. Good, bad, and indifferent. Down, out, they didn't do everything, but I promise they didn't leave me. That's for sure. I know a few that did not leave me. I know a few that when it didn't look good for TV and life was out, they rode with me and they stayed right there. When everything else was smoking, they were still in there and they didn't duck off and go hide in it. Some do. Don't mean you bad because you do. Man, everybody got a weakness. Everybody has a weakness. And you know what that weakness is? This toxicity of this free will and what it can do to the soul, the being, the person. See, you got your free will, but then you got your personality, your identity as a being. That swagger that you are. Them characteristics, the way you move, when you speak and your energy vibrate through your larynx, the way you pronounce your words, the way you move, the way you throw your shirt, your pants on, the way you bop when the music come on, the way you, everything. So anyway, a lot going on. A lot of conversations in the news, a lot of conversations in the streets, a lot of conversations in the workplace. And I want to say, what are you talking about? I'm going to tell you this for everybody that have an idea in the movement. If your movement at the beginning of the day does not drive, if its mission statement is not to get to a thinking, to draw the people back to their original state and their being and where they get their nativity, where we get our start from with this body and without it, and it is not there to increase the behaviors of better behavior, righteous behavior, proven information about what is and what is not, along with accountability and responsibility and the structure for male and female, both old and young. There is no other. Everything else that you're doing is for you, and it might look like its intentions are to give glory to the truth and to doing right by people and the idea that we have about love. But let me tell you something. Love covers a multitude of sins, but love of what? The first thing you got to have a love for is real information, proven information. Whether it fits you or doesn't fit you is another situation, but information that you can prove that is highly likely so or highly likely not. Why? Because it gives you an opportunity to utilize the number one thing the Spirit Truth gave you, save the personality and the saving from it by the air of Jesus, Yeshua the Christ, in the process of the feminine identity alongside the head of the masculine identity at the front. Let's put that right. In the process, put that right? Hallelujah. Then you ain't on the right team in your mission statement and what you're saying and what you're doing and what you're laboring for, no matter how much we fall and get back up, how much we sin and fall short of the glorious Spirit of truth. If your idea is not driven towards that, if you're in it, you're in the way. If you are not moving in that, and that is not at the forefront of whatever it is that you do or do say, if it's not at the forefront of why you cry, if it's not at the forefront of why you give your money and your resources and your time, why you build your circle the way you build your circle, why you rule your family the way you rule your family, why you move in the midst of the communities the way you move in the midst of communities, why you move in your relationships the way you move in your relationships, why when you got to do evil, you still got a code of conduct, why everybody else is doing this, you still gonna do that, why you still look different when you stand in the midst of wolves and you a lamb, but yet they can't kill a lamb. Why? Because the time ain't come for the slaughter yet. The time ain't come for the sacrifice, but when it come, you better be willing, you better be cognizant, and you should be willing to do what? Say yes and I agree. That is what has to come on the table. The heir didn't just give up himself. He was asked to go. He was told he needed to go. He was explained to go. You think the father didn't sit down with the son? A lot of these fathers don't sit down with their sons and have conversations. I'm just starting to have solid conversations with my kids and other kids, able to teach and lead my kids the way I'm supposed to. Why? Because I was ignorant on how to do it. I was ignorant. As much as I knew, as educated as I was at a young age in academics, I missed the ability to structure and nurture. Why? Because I didn't see it the way that I thought I was supposed to. We have so much that we, in our generations, everybody want to get healed, but don't nobody want to reveal nothing. You want to hide. One thing when Native Bynum had, I think it was her, no more sheets. I ain't approve because she had a magic spirit. She was writing them. She was uncovered. She was wild. But nevertheless, the words of truth are what they are. A man can be out of order and his words can still be truth. You got to prove it. A man can be out of order and he can still be laboring and know that he is still the spirit of truth's man. Why? Because every man got a day where he messed something up. You act like you forgot. You act like you forgot. One of my associates said, man, people talk about this. He said, what did you do? That's how we on it. What did you do? What did we do? What did you put to the table where your situation is? But here's the thing. Even if you put something to the table, it doesn't take it off the table that you can't engage it for what it is. It doesn't mean you got to put your tail between your legs because you find out that you was in cahoots with some crap and that you was down and you was willing and complicit, but you figured out, you added up. You had enough to go in and do the home to say, nah, enough is enough. Because you decided from the gate, nah, I'll do this, but I ain't doing that. Now, I'll let you get away with this. You know what that's called? That's called judgment. See, the church has taught us that we're not, they tell us that we should choose and decide, but not pass judgment. In order, when you're choosing to decide, you have to pass judgment. When you make your decision, you have to pass judgment on whether or not your decision is even solid or not. That's why it pays to put work in before you get there about your thinking process, talking to yourself. People still crown me because I talk to myself. But I said, man, if I don't know me, then who do? Besides the spirit of truth. But if I don't know the truth, only truth know the truth. I don't know the truth. It's my job to get that in there, to know what's in there. It's your job. It's called that now we call love, slight and discipline, changing, and like you said, it is a process. It's a figuring out of each individual. But now we so out on it now. We really, if you go down the rabbit hole, we don't let people off the hook to let them off the hook. We let people off the hook to let us off the hook. Let's talk straight. Let's deal with the selfish spirit. Let's deal with that selfish conduct, that right there. And they talk about we always doing something for somebody else. Lying. Telling the whole time. I ain't gonna say there are some people that are gifted with the gifts of giving and miracles. My she got that. She got it. I know sisters and brothers that got it. I have the gift of giving information, but sometimes I don't want to give. I don't want to give to. I got a thing. I'll give and give, but I don't play. If I catch you trying to use me, suck off me, I will. Unless the spirit of truth weigh on me hard and tell me not to do it, not to cut you off. Why? Because it's instances where I deserve to be cut off and didn't deserve to be cut off. And if I had been cut off, then maybe opportunity here or there wouldn't have happened. But the point is, reserve the right to cut off. Reserve the right to choose. Reserve the right to decide. Reserve the right to judge. Stop letting people tell you that your choice is a badge of dishonor and disrespect and disloyalty to your family, to your community, to your God, and to yourself. They tell you that choosing is wrong when God the one gave you the mind. You can't make no mind. Your father can't make no mind. Your mother can't make no mind. None of these people you saying, and you want to say that artificial intelligence, this is what they do. They seek to do the things that were here naturally, instinctively from the get-go. But here's the thing. They break the original process to do it. And guess what? Everything that they got, they might have fashioned it into something, but they didn't make nothing that they made to accomplish the goal that they accomplished. That's how you know that their process is inferior. But then they want to implement that mess in the place of the original idea. This is called killing God. This is killing the idea of truth. What? To put something in the place of what is the truth. what, not just what truly exists, just not because it's truth because it happened, but what is the original idea, will, and intent? What is the purpose? Where should your energy be? What do you know about yourself? Why are you here? What do you think you're here just to walk around and go to work and pay bills and take care of your kids? Nah, that's the last. Working is, you got to do that, but what type of work? Going to school and getting educated, but what type of education? They took over our education centers for Western Black America. They took over our school of the prophets. They replaced it with just academic intelligence and making up your mind based on this fake esoteric mess they got out here. I told you I'm going to talk to Dr. Umar, and I'm going to shoot him something. I'm going to ask him, all of what you're doing and educating people and telling them this is what we need to do, and you're passing all this judgment and saying, no, we're not giving this one and we're not giving that one passing, we're not doing this and we're not doing that, and what we doing to black women. Listen, first of all, your agenda is a good racist idea. It's a good pro about your people idea to fuel them, empower them, influence them, encourage them, and all those different things. But here's the thing, you ain't leading them nowhere. You leading them in circles. Why? Because you're talking about the same thing that got them there already. You're not educating them on anything. You haven't balanced them and founded them in anything that they are other than we come from Africa. Look, we come from beyond Africa. Don't you ever get that twisted. Or the universe is our church. Don't you ever get that. Whatever this is, our father, the boss, we children of the universe. You got doctors who are trying to send people back to a land that's already taken over and held hostage by the Chinese, the Russians, and by individuals that don't like us in the first place. And you talking about go to Africa. What I'm going to Africa for when these Africans don't talk to me right here in my neighborhood? They set up churches, they go to work, they work around us, they eat around us, they chill out with the Mexicans where they mess with Western Black America. Talk straight. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting on my nerves. I want you. I'm going to get you. I can't with you. Yeah, I know y'all see, but this all right. Anyway, so you got people that got ideas and these things to send us here and send us there. They said, behold, the way is over here. When they said they're going to tell you Jesus is over here and Jesus is over there, it ain't just the fact that they're going to say that. I don't know. I'm going to tell everything till I get them. When they say, hey, Jesus is over here, the air, the provided way for those that have been given free will, masculine and feminine identity to have an opportunity to be back in good fellowship with solid information that was given from the beginning about what it is that we to do, where it is we come from, and what it is that we working for now and later, and what it is that happened then. Listen. All I'm going to tell you, and I'm getting out of here because we got things to do. Get with a team of people that just don't talk slick, but the information and the way and the stance and the position and the calls and the heralds, despite all that we do as individuals, that we all get into situations, we all do things, we all got to work out this thinking, but get with people that can explain to you why they think the way they think and why their thinking is the thinking that should stand out, that should be grabbed onto. Because remember something, everything you think, you've been given by somebody else. So don't talk that your thoughts are your own. They came from somewhere, and the only way they become your own is if you become intimate with them and you make them your own. You got to marry them and not just have them around. You see, when you just got somebody around you, that's just a relationship outside. That's like a dating relationship. But when you commit and you saying, yo, I know this individual, I feel like I know myself, I know my plan, I know my purpose, I know my place, I know this is where I need to be and this is what I'm putting to the table. And when you can put that to the table and the person on the other side of you can get that and choose them, that is a relationship built in the balance of the marriage. And when you go outside of that, when you commit to that out of your mouth and then you go outside of that, that is where the adultery happens. That's why Jesus said, that's why the idea of mine tells you, you already committed adultery long before you ever went outside your marriage and slept with an individual, talked to another individual. You know what you did? You conceived it in your mind. That's why I tell you, come out of there. So as soon as you look upon another woman in that way, you already committed the deeds out of lust. You already committed adultery. You ain't have, the only thing that you would do at that point is if you stamp that and back that up with action, now it's written. Now it's super written. Not just written in time that it exists, but written in time that it happened. Be careful how you give it. He said, I sent the word out to the elders and I asked them, I put this word out there and nobody has responded yet. And it's right in the book. And I'm going to tell you what the perfect will of the Spirit of truth is. The perfect will of the living God is that you know how to possess this body with this free will and mind unto sanctification, being set apart in the choice to know how to choose him, the things of truth, the things of righteousness, the things of the due season, not this mess that's in the way, not all this stuff that we've been taught and passed down from everybody else, but that you would know the way. The right way, not all these other ways that tell you this is the way to God. This is the way to bring the beat back. This is the way to help your son. This is the way to help your daughter. No, this is the way. They said, come over here. I'm telling you, come over here. I'm telling you, come over here. While I'm telling you that, I tell you to tell them, I said, come over here and come out from amongst them. And if they got a problem with what I'm saying and they saying that what I'm saying and leading you in the wrong way, tell them why they ain't show up, why they ain't saying nothing. And don't come over here talking about character flaws. Come over here and run your mouth out these answers and solutions to the situations we got going on. And prove your doctrine. Prove your house. Prove your seat. You got to prove it. You say, oh, that's torn, tipped. No, it ain't. I'm judging. I'm doing exactly what the Spirit of truth said. Mark them. Mark them which cause offenses among you, and mark those that are in fellowship with you, those that call on the Spirit of truth with fear and trembling, with outright terror and respect. And that's just it. Nail it to your people door, nail it to your pastor's door, nail it to your favorite gangster door, nail it. You saying you want to be free, you want something different in your neighborhood, stop selling that smack. Stop knocking people's head off, passing judgment on people because you mad and you don't like the fact that you feel some badge of honor. If you want to knock somebody in the head, go knock yourself in the head. Tell you you want your opportunity for your family to be better and what you think and your idea to be good, but would you still tearing up the hood? Nah, that's not right. Don't let them people fool you. I ain't going in on you. I'm right there with you. Right there with you in good, bad, and indifferent, better, worse, and whatever. But don't let the people, don't lie to yourself. That's what I'm telling you. Sorry, the clowns, don't let us lie to ourselves and say we want better and we know we sick. We're going to lie and tell ourselves we not sick. We not in the track. We not getting whooped. We not behind. We not last. We not being abused. We not listening. We not communicating. We not loving. We fighting more than we love. Man, I want somebody to tell us that's not what we doing. Say it. Not all the way, but tell me that largely so that's not what we doing. Western Black America. Tell me that's not what we doing. Creation of people. Tell me, show me. Lie against truth. Keep doing what you've been doing. Let us keep doing what we've been doing. Keep looking at the pink elephant in the room and saying it ain't there and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Keep it doing it. Truth gonna cut you off, I'm telling you. And I read that right there, with the Spirit of the living God cut you off, there are things that are worse than dying. Do you hear me? There are things that are much worse than dying. The idea of what you think dying is, there are things that are much worse. And I promise you, you don't want no parts, because once you do, I don't know about no reprieves in there. I'm not going to sell you that one. They're talking this reincarnation and all that stuff. I don't know. I know the Spirit of truth is merciful. How long? I don't know, but too long. Too long. A day is just 1,000, 10,000, 1,000, million, 100,000, whatever. It's too long. The prophet starts smiling. Give me a call, sir. Elder. Give me a call, Pastor Samuel. I'd appreciate it if you give me a call. Pastor Chris Thomas, I'm going to reach out to you. And I think that I'm going to post this. I want to say salute to my house. I want to say salute to the people that support me. You know who you are. I'm not going to go through every day naming them. Some days are good, some days are not. If I named you, wouldn't know who they were anyway. Saved, couple. But peace. Lot going on in the news real quick. Moon bases, they talking now, saying it going up when we know if there is any such thing. They've been doing it for a very long time, but the verdict is out on that too. But either here nor there, the point is, the only thing that we can know about those things there really for real is they're happening and we're not a part of it, Western Black America. So it really doesn't, it only matters to just let you know there's things going on in the earth and you should be looking at them, and we're not at the table for it. We ain't involved in it, not here on these lower parts. Ain't nobody from down here up there at that table. Ain't none of us got a seat on there, one of them ships or them boats or them trucks or them these new inventions or these time portals or these whatever they got. Nobody in Western Black, hardly anybody in Western Black America has access to anything that's here that's over the top. So at least you let you know this there for a reality check when you're watching the news. The things that do affect us, what we got going on around us, the position and the things that as government leaders are talking about, they're saying, even though they're doing this, we know they've been doing it. It's not to give fear tactic. It's just again to let you know, to be able to put markers on the places in your life that are either lying to you, got you under pressure, that are ruling unrighteously, that are not seeking for really the idea of anybody ever getting better, especially here in America. We could be doing so much better. And you say, oh, it doesn't work like that. Yes, it does. It works just like that. It works just like that. Everybody on the tape. Obama, all of them, they could have did it. You tell every time a white guy get in there, they do what they want to do. They go in there, they take the whole country hostage. They shut it down, they start wars, they do this, that, and the third. You don't know what they did. They set you up a value. They sat in there and rocked everybody to sleep. He ain't do nothing. Nothing for us. But set us up and take us further down in the hill. You tell black folks that, they don't want to hear that. He came in there and said he was a Christian and he left out of there a Muslim. He came in there saying he wasn't supporting homosexuality because it's against the ways of life and God. And then the next term, he told everybody in the church and everybody that he lied to and said that that was time he on Sasha convinced him to change his mind. He changed his agenda and went after it, and you still went down as the church, as the mob. Forget this is a person with a few identities. You say you represented the living God. You went right down there and supported him and his wife, him and his whatever. They gave you 2 black idols and stuck them up in your face, and you went hurrah and bought pocketbooks. You got another opportunity and you ran around in chucks and pearls for a person that don't believe in boys and girls. Told you in your face that she married the same sex, but you gonna let her rule and let her run and make judgment over your sons and daughters when she can't think straight about male and female, but you still ran down it. We ain't talking about the rest of the planet. We talking about the church. Talk about the church. When I told you don't vote, nobody didn't say anything, but you still went down there and voted. When I told you the living God said, take your hands off of that and just stand down and choose truth, and saying we don't have to hate you, but we don't have to put our endorsement behind you, even if you went down there and voted for somebody because your packages and your security and your social security is wrapped up with them, not knowing that they full-blown agenda is LGBTQ, or knowing that it is, and you saying, oh, well, ain't nobody perfect, we gonna vote. The devil is a lie. You gonna ask tax breaks from Caesar to do God's work, and then you wanna know why they laughing at us. You 501c3 in it from the person that hate the very entity of the individual that you trying saying that you supporting and that you in a relationship with and that you got a handle on. And you do it for what? So you can serve a couple meals? So you say, oh, well, where your God at? Not negating, we know the process and we know one person got to help and these things are there for this and that, but that's not the point. Ain't nobody gonna get out here and fight this giant. I gotta try to get on the only David time. I gotta try to turn my old lady into Xena when she already there. Nobody don't want to contend for the faith. But then you want to sit there and you want to come and you want to mess with us down here that's trying to bring the beat back and and the ones that really legitimately are bringing stuff on the table and a wave and a move that ain't been here and ain't been seen in ages. You know what it is? It's called the truth. First of all, you got to know what the definition of it is. Saying you love, you got to know what love is. Most people can't define. Ask them. They'll tell you a bunch of feelings and emotions, but they won't tell you what it is. They won't tell you how to accomplish it, how you develop it, how you can know that it's there, even when your emotions don't add up with the feelings on what you're looking at or what you're seeing or what you're getting from an individual. You know, so I can't explain that. Everybody went around to me, oh, yeah, my love, peace and love. Define it before you start telling me to do something. Show me, tell me you understand the directions on the GPS. Talk to me. Just don't drive me around nowhere. Don't tell me follow behind you and you don't know where you going. Where we going? You don't know. We just going out. We going and it's safe to go out and just go explore and do something. Cool. Say that. You get in these relationships, people supposed to know where they trying to take you. They might don't know how to get all that. They might don't know all of how it's going to get or what it's going to take to get there. But if they don't got a rock solid plan that they could back up with more than just what they want to do in life, if they can't give you a why that's more solid than anything that's on the play, maybe you're the right person, because that person can't do nothing for you really than other just walk with you and be with you in a relationship, but he ain't taking you nowhere, not knowingly. Not that you could acknowledge on your own and say, hey, this is the way I'm going. You just walking aimlessly about in life, groping about in the dark, walking in the wilderness, just walking, Little Red Riding Hood. No place to be until it started to get dark. Now you want y'all to find your way home. Now you figure out you don't know nothing. You can't see nothing. Your judgment off. You're scared. You're crazy. You can't see that this big bad wolf got this granny suit on. You can't see it right there. You can't see that you're in a relationship with a foul individual that's masking himself as somebody else. Why? Because you can't think straight. Why? Because you young, you immature, you out there and you doing something you ain't had no business, which is what? Wandering off. When you was told, don't wander off. You want to wander off while you already in the wilderness. You lost, so now we want to be more lost. Weird stuff. You know, talk straight. Every year, I'm telling you, you got to make a decision. Do you, whether you elders, older, young male or female, do you want the fellowship of the Spirit too? Are you in the business of what you're saying you are? Because if I'm making this call and I keep on, continue, consistently. I say I'm not going to say anything anymore, and I keep saying I deserve another chance. Everybody deserves another chance. But at some point, you got to come to a judgment and say, you know what? I don't deserve no more chances on that. Whatever it is, I got to stay right. I done had more than enough chances. I ain't doing nothing. If I don't get some help this way, ain't nothing going to change. I ain't going to change my way. If I don't get some extra added help with all this side, with all the things I want to do that I don't do, and all the things that I don't want to do that I do, with this wrestle with this mind, this free will, this toxicity of me wanting to do what me want to do, me wanting to employ me and my free will, talking like somebody else. I know good and well somebody else got authority over me. I know there's much that has authority over me. I'm not a fool. I wish I would bring real accusation against Satan. I would be so, listen, for everybody, for all of this mess that people have been putting all of this stuff on this entity, y'all ain't get in trouble for that. You ain't get in trouble for that because the biggest devil is the devil in you. He ain't the problem. He's a part of the facilitating of the influence of the problem. The problem is the person that chose the problem. Ignorantly or willingly. Remember I'm talking about the devil did it. No, the devil didn't do it. You did it. The devil didn't do it. I did it. They didn't start this. I started it. No, they didn't do that to that person. We all did it. We all guilty. When we didn't do what we were supposed to do, when we weren't developed enough, when we weren't stern enough, when we weren't mature enough, when we didn't have enough guts to stand up for the right thing when the wrong thing was going on, when we looked the other way because we had some relationship with somebody, we let them get away with murder because that was our friend, that was our associate, that's our boy, that's our homie, that's our man. No. A man that ain't willing to choose and know that that the truth will have you be and have you to walk away from even your family, you do not know what you're talking about. Positively productive day.